Guerrero was right about the shoe. The shoe was not the same in the picture in court as the shoe pulled from the evidence bag by Trooper Bukake.
And you mentioned you're at the hospital. There was a sneaker. One.
Yes.
Bukake!
Woo! Good afternoon, my friends. Good morning if you're on the West Coast. But it's great to see you guys. I hope everybody's doing well. Listen, I'm a little out of it. Not too much sleep. I mean, I feel okay. I'm still kind of waking up. I'm actually drinking coffee right now, but I'm gonna move on to my Mountain Dew zero sugars. But yeah, like I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore last night during the last live stream, but I mean I wore it for 2.5 hours. And so like I woke up and I was like, it's right there. We just put it back on. Fuck it. And it's a dope ass shirt anyway. So I'm not done with it. I'm not done wearing this shit until I'm ready to wash it again. But so I wanted to talk about, I mean, what I noticed was now Turtleboy yesterday, Aiden, he made the announcement that he has hired Jeffrey Pyle to his civil defense team. And he wrote a short, quick article that we'll read in a minute. Now, we're going to be following up right now as well on a little birdie that a very annoying little birdie that I keep hearing And there is a rumor floating around right now that Turtleboy's bail has been revoked. Or it's being revoked, in the process of being revoked. I'm not sure what is going on with that exactly. And we are going to keep looking into that. I'm going to keep checking Twitter. And I'm going to hope to actually hear a follow-up text message. Now, I don't want this to be, this could mean a number of things. But I texted Aiden about 30 minutes ago, or about an hour ago, or 45 minutes ago. And I said, hey, I'm about to go live, but I'm hearing rumors that your bail is being revoked. Can I confirm with you that it's a rumor and shut these Twitter clowns up? And his response was, what do you mean rumors? So I don't know what that means. I'm not going to take that as a confirmation that the rumor is true. But I'm also not going to take that as a denial either. Could be just, Aiden and I like to joke around. He could just be fucking with me and then forgot to text me back and say, I'm just fucking around. Who knows? I don't know. But I don't imagine that he would joke around about that. And I imagine that why I'm not hearing from him is, or he wants to know the source, right? What do you mean rumors? He could just be like, elaborate. What are you talking about? And he probably hasn't heard it. But I just don't believe that because it's all over Twitter. Like, people have been posting about it. And of course, I can't find one now that said so. But some trolls have been saying things. Now, see, this is just, come on. Like, see, this is really, really upsetting. It gets me really, really. This is my competition. This guy right here. That's my competition. Right here, this guy. Are you kidding, Jules? We could be spooning. What is happening? It's very upsetting. But anyways, let's keep looking. See if we can find. And it's wild. Julie Carpenter has been spending like all of her time on Twitter, just going after Aiden, picking apart everything. And I know people are like, well, what else is new? But it's wild. She is just full throttle. Like, when does she sleep? Here we go. 21 minutes ago, and then another one an hour ago, and then another one 3 hours ago, and then another one 6 hours ago, and then another one 13 hours ago, and another one 21 hours ago. They're all Aiden related, all of them. I don't think I don't think that that's Connor in the no, that's just an AI. The thumbnail you're talking about, no, that's not Greg Connor. The thumbnail is just an AI image that I generated, that I had generated. So real quick, Carrie Cove, member for 5 months, best 5 months hanging out with you in the chat. Thank you so much. Sup, Bo? Feels like forever. Member for 4 months. Sup, Bo? So I don't know. Yeah, so I don't want to read too much into what Aiden texted me. We could just be getting lost in translation. That happens between us a lot, actually. There's a lot of times that I'll send a text and he'll be like, "What do you mean?" Blah blah blah. Or he'll send a text and be like, and I'll be like, "I don't know what that is," or "I don't know what that means." It happens. It's happened more than once, so that could be the case here. That's George Lopez. Stop it. So, like, it's really funny because Julie Carpenter has been earlier yesterday. She was like, I mean, this was 17 hours ago. Okay. 17 hours ago. And she posted this. Does Aiden know his book report is due in 7 days, 1 week left? Referring to you have to have retained an attorney by this time. She says 1 week left. Find an attorney, pipsqueak. Right? So Julie Carpenter is extremely invested in whether or not, and has been extremely invested in whether or not Aiden gets an attorney, which is very bizarre. And she's and you can tell that she's doing it all for clout. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm gonna put you guys on mute for a second. Okay, so I was just on the phone with Aiden, and that is just a fucking rumor. That apparently that's just some idiot who there it is. No, my bail is not being revoked. So yeah, I just got off the phone with Aiden. He says no, exactly what he's typing here in the chat. I'm glad that that is absolutely the case, and we can shut these fucking morons down. Because what's going on here is these people really don't like that. Obviously, Julie Carpenter, based on this tweet here, is hitching on the idea that Aiden is not going to be able to hire an attorney for whatever reason, that nobody's going to take his case because he's too difficult, or they don't want, or they're just hoping that he's, not, they're hoping that he's not spending his money on what he's saying he's supposed to be spending his money on because, he just bought a house. So if somebody just buys a house, then how could they pay for a house and an attorney? That's unheard of. This is one thing after the other with my fiance. Oh my God, dude, there was this fucking squirrel like right on my balcony, almost just trying to see if Clever wanted to fucking, these fuckers are bold out here and it's really weird. Anyway, that is mad ADHD right there. Like, oh, look, a squirrel. I literally went, oh, look, a squirrel. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so there's always just, one thing after the other. It's like they wish out loud. Like the nature of these tweets. Look at this right here. Does Aiden know his book report is due in 7 days? 1 week left. Find an attorney, pipsqueak. And then she puts this, with highlights the most, must respond to this, blah, 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 blah. Awesome. Great. But the thing is she is so concerned, and it's like as if she's wishing out loud. Like, oh my God, he only has 7 days to hire an attorney. First of all, if I'm talking about somebody like Aiden who really just likes to fuck with you people, I'm talking to you, Julie Carpenter. I'm talking to all of you people out there on Twitter that just spend your entire days talking about Aiden, posting about Aiden, making memes about Aiden, making GIFs about Aiden, making little AI videos about Aiden. This is all just wishing out loud. And now that he has hired an attorney because they were just wishing out loud in some way, just making up weird reasons why he would not have an attorney for this civil case. And there's a lot in that language. Think about that for a second. There's a whole lot in that language. If these people are counting on the possibility that Aiden would not be able to hire representation to properly represent him and defend him against this civil suit, if that's what they're counting on to win this thing, that just tells me that they don't even believe in this suit. That tells me all I need to know. That tells me that these people absolutely not only are completely and utterly full of shit, but they're aware that they're full of shit. Like there's a part of them that, okay, they're full of shit, and then there's this part of them that knows that they're full of shit, and then this other part of them comes along and convinces that part that there's some sort of justification for it, and then they just go with it, and then they're full of shit, and everything they say is full of shit, and they just do it. It's so weird. Like I'm telling you, Turtleboy Derangement Syndrome is some of the funnest shit that I've ever followed and watched. Now it sucks. I hate saying that because it's not fun for Aiden, but at times it is, and that's fun to watch. At times it is, but this is, again, look, Julie Carpenter wishing out loud. And this was when he was about to announce that he hired his attorney, just hours before he actually announced it. Then she posts, Aiden Carney is about to learn a very painful and expensive lesson in constitutional rights. He will come out a very humbled and very broken shell of a man. And then she reposts this mama llama bullshit. The First Amendment protects even harsh and offensive speech, but it doesn't protect defamation, false statements of fact that damage someone's reputation. The line gets crossed when, and then there's this 1 minute and 50-second video, which let me see if it's, I don't want to get dinged and see if there's like a song that's copyright. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any music to it, so we'll just play it.
A murderer, in case I'm not very clear about that, a murderer by the name of Jennifer McCabe, who murdered John O'Keefe.
Okay. Now, this is all supposed to be really damning shit, right? Because, oh my God, they called us murderers. He called me a murderer. Jen McCabe is going, oh my God, this piece of shit called me a murderer. And so I'm going to sue him. He's saying that's defamation. How is that not defamation? But the problem is that because she's also thinking, well, if I wasn't even, if I'm not even talked about as someone who did the murder, he was my friend, then how can he say that about me? See, here's the thing is we all with common sense, and I want to be very clear about this myself. We all with common sense believe that Jen McCabe is a cop killer by default. Because when you Google, we all believe that she Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m. Everything about that is too coincidental. It looks too bad. There's no like the bullshit excuse about Karen told me to do it, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that for a second. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that. The fact that it showed up at 2:27 a.m., it showed up within a very small minute window of speaking with Brian Albert in which she denied. So this is, nobody doesn't believe that nobody with any fucking brains believes that she Googled that at 6 and then it just showed up because of some weird fucking wall in Celebrate or whatever. Bullshit. So nobody with common sense thinks that Jen McCabe's story about the 2:27 a.m. Google search, nobody thinks that that's plausible at all. Now, also, the reason why, one of the many reasons why that is because she lied on the stand in 2 different murder trials. She lied to the FBI. These are things that when you do these things, we automatically don't believe your story about the 2:27 a.m. search. We go, no, that's okay. Yeah, you totally searched that shit at 2:27 a.m. And the point I'm making here is if Jen McCabe Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m., wanting to know how long it to die in the cold at 2:27 a.m., that means that she knew that John's body was sitting out on the front lawn of 34 Fairview Road when she Googled that. And she could have helped him. And she was counting on him to die. Counting on him to die. So, that not only makes her a killer, but it makes her a cop killer by default. She could have saved him. She knew he was dying. She was counting on him dying. And then he died. And there's nothing plausible that makes me believe her. She wants me to give her the benefit of the doubt because she's a normal mom. I'm not doing that. I've seen too many cases where everybody's a fucking normal mom and then they end up doing the worst shit imaginable. How many times I followed a case where somebody was just a normal mom or a normal dad? Mike M, thank you so much. A news art says revocation was denied, dated May 5th. A news article says revocation was denied May 5th. Okay. Thank you for that. Do they know there's a fine line between love and hate? 1977 Felicia, 19 months. Member. That's great. Happiness is everything. Member for 5 months. Free our Turtleboy so these clowns can get rehomed. Well, that's different than the context I use, rehomed. Brooks was here. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. I mean, it really just simply boils down to the fact that these people are just desperate to take this guy down. What's interesting is all they're doing is making the movie better. It's funny that I think of things in terms like that. Hold on a second. We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do it.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. I think we got a super cat.
1977 Felicia, thank you so much. Normal mom and GMA Donna Adelson didn't actually murder her daughter's ex-husband, but was convicted of murder. Thank you so much. Yeah, everybody's a normal mom till they're not, dude. Fucking BTK was a normal dad and husband until he wasn't. You know what I mean? Want to hear that shit? So here's Brian Albert did it, Colin Albert did it, Brian Higgins did it. Yeah. I mean, Jen McCabe is a murderer. TikTok. I never once defended Jennifer McCabe or Brian Albert. You did, blah, blah, blah. Is first. So this is just a big like compilation of what they think is defamation.
Stephen Carney from Turtleboy Daily News. I just want to know, were you the one who killed John O'Keefe, or was that your Uncle Brian? Who hit him first? Who hit him with the back of the head with the thing? Are you worried that you're going to go to jail for the rest of your life and that you won't be able to play football at Bridgewater State next year? Love to have a conversation. And why 2 cop killers are up there. Cop killers. That's what they are. They're cop killers. So 2 cop killers don't like being asked about it. I cannot wait until they go to jail. I'm going to be there. And they're not going to be able to get the camera out of my face then. So they better get used to this beautiful face, baby. Because it's coming at you. It's coming at you, John. This might be the end of your lacrosse season, but there's lots of other public events coming up. A Boston police officer was murdered in cold blood. And these people right here, who you're looking at, these people right here, they covered it up. They participated. They're in the murder of a Boston police officer. These are cop killers, ladies and gentlemen. That's a cop killer right there. Cop killer. Cop killer. That's what you are.
I mean, I always just hear the body count song in my head.
That's all you're ever going to be. It's a cop killer. Disgusting. Disgusting. Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, Colin Albert, and the rest of these fucks murdered John O'Keefe. It's a fact. It's not an opinion.
So the problem with that is he is allowed to have an opinion. Okay? And in my opinion, what I believe to be true is when he says something's like that, like it's a fact, it's not an opinion, it is still hyperbole. It's still him just on his show doing what he does. Superstition Man, member for 14 months. Free Turtleboy now. So the thing is like, yes, as a matter of fact, if Karen Reed, how is it somehow defamation? Because this is what it boils down to. They're going to say this is defamation because they weren't charged with anything. That doesn't matter because you're still allowed to have the opinion and you're still allowed to conclude this to be a fact when you have so many points of data pointing at the direction of the McAlberts. You have so many points of data pointing at motive as to why they would cover for each other. So many points of data as to why Michael Proctor would CAG an investigation and railroad Karen Reed. There are so many points of data that point to motive for all of these things. Hell, there's points of data that point to motive of Beverly Cannoni having bias. So I mean, and here's another one. Every time Aiden Carney talks about his defense in the defamation suit, he sounds like a woman, clown. Like it's, what is this bullshit? Let's see what this is.
Be denied.
All right, thank you.
She was contacted with items from the house that the victims recalled, and then so the accuracy of the prior description was very accurate in this case. And then when the victim did view the defendant, she was very certain that that was the person she had just seen in her office. And the time between this was only 30 minutes, so it was a very short period of time. So for those reasons, I would ask that defense's motion 10 be denied.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mayberry, any argument you wish to make?
Yes, I would like to make a statement. Your Honor, I respectfully appear today by special limited appearance as the living woman, Michaela Dean Mayberry. I do need to say this on the record for my
What am I looking at right now?
understanding. And I speak them in good faith and honor. I'm here.
Okay, that's just some bullshit that she's trying to like compare to. All right. So here, so Aiden announces last night, writes a quick little article, and he announces last night that he has hired Jeffrey Pyle. Now, let's read his article real quick. Liz 88 gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, sorry. I just got a really funny DM. But I can't share it. Liz 88 gifted a membership. Thank you so much. And yeah, so Aiden he writes a quick article to announce this gentleman, Jeffrey Pyle. He says, breaking, I have returned attorney Jeffrey Pyle, a partner at Prince Lobel LLP, who will be taking the lead on my civil case along with 2 associates. Jeff Pyle has been practicing law for 25 years, but his commitment to the First Amendment goes all the way back to high school when he was a high school senior in South Hadley. He wore a T-shirt to gym class that said, "Co-ed naked band, do it to the rhythm." The school censored his T-shirt under a dress code banning demeaning and vulgar speech. So Jeff wore more T-shirts such as "Co-ed naked civil liberties, do it to the amendments," and "Co-ed naked censorship." They do it in South Hadley. When the school didn't back down, he and his brother sued, and they won. In 1996, the Supreme Judicial Court agreed with Jeff that under Massachusetts law, high school students have the right to wear vulgar, non-disruptive messages on clothing to school, and that it is still a good law today. After going to law school and completing the federal clerkship, Jeff became a First Amendment lawyer. A big part of his practice is defending defamation cases. He also sues the government for public records and files motions to unseal court records. And here are a few highlights, which I'll get into in just a second. But think about that for a second. This guy in high school sues. Yeah, I saw the DM's Mass Hole Mafia parody. Yeah. I'm a big fan of plausible deniability. Don't send me shit like that anymore. Anyway, so in high school, this guy, somebody tells him what kind of shirt he can wear and what kind of shirt he can't wear, and he's like, no, I don't think you can do that. Why the fuck can't I wear what the fuck I want to wear? Like, I'm coming here, I'm doing the work that you tell me I got to do. I'm following the rules to get to the station in life that I want to get to, but I have to toe the line with you to do that. And now you're telling me what I can and can't wear in the process of doing this. And ironically, what I want to do is I want to fight for people's right to say whatever they want. And you want to tell me that I can't say whatever I want with my clothing? No. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so let's go over some of these highlights that Jeff of Jeff's career as a First Amendment lawyer. Jeff defended the blog Tech Dirt when it was sued by Shiva Ayadurai for making fun of his claim that he invented email. The court dismissed the case. Jeff defended the bloggers known as Data Colada when they were sued for defamation for writing about potential data fraud by Harvard Business School professor Francesca Gino, excuse me. The court dismissed the case. In 2019, Jeff filed a successful motion to unseal the Commonwealth's lawsuit against Purdue Pharma on behalf of the New York Times, the Boston Globe, and other media entities. Wow. He also successfully sued the city of Worcester for public records about police misconduct investigations on behalf of the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, resulting in the first ever punitive damages award against the city under the state public records law. Wow. Like, this is definitely our guy. This is the guy that we want defending our boy. This is, again, the entire argument here is First Amendment. And Turtleboy is merely someone no different than the rest of us who has looked at the data, heard testimony, formed an opinion and stated his opinion very publicly. People like to hear his opinion. So he stated his opinion very publicly based on the facts. Turtleboy is not the one that lied to the FBI. Turtleboy is not the one who acted aggressively towards John O'Keefe at the Waterfall Bar and Grill on January 28th, 2022. Turtleboy is not the one who was a first responder and a Boston cop, a fellow Boston cop, who had a property and a house where a bunch of fire trucks came to save a cop's life. He's not the one who whose sister called him and lied about it. And he's not the one who didn't get up to go save a fellow police officer's life. He's not the one who didn't wake her husband up, who is in a position to save that fellow officer's life. All of these people did dirty shit. All of these people did the dirtiest of shit. And then want to sit there and then whine and bitch that their lives are ruined. I don't understand, and we get all this harassment. Dude, well, maybe you shouldn't have done all that nasty shit. Well, what about Karen? Well, a jury didn't think that Karen calling John on the phone and leaving voicemails, thinking that he is off doing whatever he wants. Anyway, they didn't think that was damning. At least not damning enough. What's up, Hen? I have not heard from Cherry in a couple of days, so I don't know. But I will message her when this is done. Right. And then the argument is, well, Jen McCabe is the one who called 911. Right. Well, she called her sister first. She spoke to her sister. Yeah, we know that because the phone data says so. Phone data states that she spoke to her sister before she called 911. And then she spoke to her sister again after she hung up with 911. What we're calling an alley doing at the school parking lot. Why was everyone lying? You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. Their credibility is fucked because of all their lies. That's my entire argument. That's my justification for fucking everything that I say. All of them are liars. None of their stories match. None of their own stories match with their different stories that they've told themselves. I'm not even talking about the matching of stories between them. I'm talking about their own stories. You've got grand jury testimony. You've got that contradicts statements, that contradicts trial testimony. And then we find out in the second trial, why was it so different? Why was there still more new shit coming out during the second trial? Nobody wants to talk about that either. We don't talk about it because the trial's over. There's no real reason to, right? But I think that it matters, especially in these defamation with these lawsuits that are taking place now. I think it matters. Why? What's up, Micro Dots? My boy. Why was there so much new information coming out after the first trial happened? Shouldn't everything have come out during the first trial? Why was there still shit coming out for the second trial? Why did we not know that Jen McCabe spoke with the FBI and lied to them? Why did we not know about Kelly Deaver speaking to the FBI during the first trial? So, you know, we could sit here and, because nobody wants to do that, right? You get law tubers who talk about this, and I understand that. Melanie Little's the only one that will straight up sit there and be like, you're being gaslit. Everyone is being fucking gaslit. And God bless Mel for that. God bless Mel for that, because she's someone with courtroom experience, who has experience in the law, and she is saying, listen, this is not right. This is not normal. This does not fucking happen. What's up, Kelly Reed? What is it? I have had the song lyric. I'm the number one fan of the man of Tennessee in my head, and here you are, the man from Tennessee. Well, thank you, Kelly Reed. So this is why. I mean, we absolutely, like, God bless Mel for that, because none of the other law tubers want to say stuff like that. They don't want to go, look, this is fucking crazy. This is not, they want to be like, yeah, I'm not going to say that's normal, but I'm not going to necessarily say that it's bad and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But Mel will be like, no, that is some bullshit right there. That is why Melanie Little gets more live viewers than anybody else who is covering the case. That's why. Holy shit. Miss V USMC just gifted 20 membership. I mean, dude. The defamation doesn't, my point of all this is the defamation doesn't come from Aiden Carney, aka Dr. Turtleboy, aka Mr. Media. It does not come from him. The defamation comes from their own actions. They should be suing themselves if they were not responsible for the death of John O'Keefe and the cover-up of it. They should sue themselves, because they're the ones who incriminated themselves the most through their actions. I mean, these people individually wrote to the governor of Massachusetts, along with the commissioner of the Massachusetts State Police, begging for Michael Proctor to keep his job. Emily, thank you so much. Member for 2 months. Hope this suit finally shows Ho's House defendants are guilty. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, they just made it harder on themselves, dude. It's absolutely wild, man. Absolutely fucking wild. So Aiden goes on to say in his article, he wraps it up saying, Jeff will be joined by my criminal defense attorneys, Tim Bradle Tim the Terminator Bradle, and the mighty one, Mark Betterow, both of whom are very familiar with the facts of both my case and Karen Reed's. I look forward to vigorously defending all of our First Amendment rights in court, because make no mistake, that's exactly what he'll be doing. Karen Reed did not kill John O'Keefe. Other people did. Together, this triumvirate of legal talent will prove this where it matters most, inside a courtroom. Buckle up, because the fight has just begun. I hope I pronounced that word correctly, because I'd never seen that before. Yeah, I can't, dude. I gotta be awesome. Well, I'm already awesome. Sorry, I misspoke, because I was thinking Rod Stewart is awesome, because I was reading the chat at the same time. See how my brain works? I gotta be honest, is what I meant to say. I gotta be honest. This suit is like the worst thing that the McAlberts could have done to themselves. And they're panicking. They're absolutely panicking. So now, once Aiden had made this announcement, Julie Carpenter, she says, well, Carney's new attorneys are off to a great start. Either they're not aware of all the plaintiffs against him, or they are not representing him for Collins' claims. Either way, I like it, right? So here's this tweet from Girl with an Eagle Eye. McCabe, Higgins, Alberts versus Karen Reed, Aiden, Turtleboy. Notice of appearance of the following attorneys on behalf of Turtleboy. Prince Loeb, Ty, LLP, Jeffrey Pyle, Adam Doherty, Meredith McAfee, Timothy Bradle. For some reason, Colin Albert was left off of the notice of appearance filings from Prince Lobel Ty. Not sure if it's a mistake or if there will be a separate representation in the Colin Albert matter. I have no idea. I don't care. At least not yet. It's not something that I'm concerned with. But this is where things get fun. So Julie Carpenter also writes here, water seeks its own level. A Prince Lobel partner forging liquor licenses. Oh my God. The article is in the link. Seems on brand to represent Aiden Carney. Maybe we will get another crayon motion about couch bribes. Bill McIntyre, we all love that fucking guy. He posts, Bill to a friend, Turtleboy hired Prince Lobel as his civil defense attorney. Very intelligent, experienced, and knowledgeable friend. That makes sense. They suck. Prince Lobel blows. Wow. Okay. Bill McIntyre. But let's read this article from Universal Hub. Okay. Licensing attorney charged with forging liquor licenses for 3 Boston establishments last year. This is from November 12th, 2025. So November of last year. A Suffolk County grand jury last week indicted a licensing attorney for forging Boston liquor licenses in April 2024 for a Brighton food hall, a Seaport restaurant, and a Park Square hotel. Leslie Delaney Hawkins, 41, of Weymouth, faces arraignment on November 21st in Suffolk Superior Court on 12 felony counts of forgery, common law forgery, uttering the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office reports. Forgery relates to the creation of a fake document, in this case, liquor licenses, while uttering is the act of distributing the forged documents with the intent of harm or defraud someone. Each of the forgery counts alone carry maximum possible penalties of 10 years in prison. Hawkins was a partner at a downtown law firm, Prince Lobel, which fired her last June, okay, after news broke that she had allegedly forged a license for craft food halls on Soldiers Field Road in Alston. The place had won a liquor license from the Boston Licensing Board, but was being held up at the State Alcohol Beverages Control Commission, when Hawkins gave them a license, which investigators quickly determined was forged. According to the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, around the same time, Hawkins also forged liquor licenses for Zazie Bar, a cocktail lounge at Seaport Boulevard that had recently closed, and the Hilton Boston Park Plaza. Wow. Hawkins had been the attorney for the Boston Licensing and Cannabis Boards before leaving to become a partner at Prince Lobel in 2021, where she quickly built up the firm's presence in liquor licensing in a city where liquor licenses can go for $600,000 apiece to just a few law firms specializing in the OPAC laws that govern liquor licensing and sales. She also worked on zoning cases for Prince Lobel, as did former city councilman and firm partner Mike Ross, who took over some of her cases after she was terminated and before many of her clients moved to other firms. Hawkins represented Zazie Bar when it went before the licensing board in June 2023 to buy the beer, wine, and liquors license from the creperie, I think is the word, that had occupied the space it was moving into, Craft Food Halls, in January 2024. When it sought to buy the all-alcohol license from another restaurant in the space it planned to occupy, and BPP investment property also in January 2024, after it acquired the Park Plaza Hotel. Following her departure from the Prince Lobel, Hawkins created a group called Sober and Curious Boston, which organizes hikes and other events for people who want to connect, have fun, and stay active without the pressure of alcohol. She writes on what inspired her. I had just returned from a 3-day backpacking trip in the Pisgah National Forest, and whether it was sleeping on the ground or attempting the Appalachian bear hang, something shifted. 6 months sober and deep in the woods and with 10 strangers, and doubled down on the fact that I hadn't gotten sober to live a mediocre life. Okay. Now, is it fucked up that she did this? Of course. It's absolutely fucked up. But that doesn't have anything to do. First of all, Aiden hired Jeffrey Pyle. Okay? Aiden hired Jeffrey Pyle. He did not hire Leslie Delaney Hawkins. Now, just because they worked for the same law firm, that doesn't mean that the law firm is dishonest. The law firm took action, the proper action that it was expected to take, that it would be expected to take under those circumstances. Now, I don't know how it works inside a law firm necessarily. I only know how it works inside an institute of law and stuff. But I don't know how it works inside an actual law firm. Now, I would assume that, like any other business, she's hired to handle one particular aspect of law. Like, that's why there are different partners and different people. There's people who handle free speech stuff and defamation suits. There are people who handle licensing. There are people who handle criminal stuff. So this is what these law firms do. There are different branches of law here, different areas of law, and this is what she specialized in. But she was expected to be the expert in that, to have her methods to see that their clients get the satisfaction, to get what they're paying them for, right? And if she's required to get them liquor licenses, if that's part of her job is to get them liquor licenses, they're not sitting there overseeing and supervising how she gets those liquor licenses. They're just going, okay, did you get the client the liquor license? Yes, I did. Great. Glad to hear it. She produced results. They didn't ask questions. They don't know anything about how she's getting them. They're not auditing every single aspect of what she's doing. Everybody's working on whatever the fuck they're working on as far as the clients they have. So and as soon as they found out that this is what she was doing, they took the necessary action and fired her. Because that is not the behavior of someone that they want representing their firm. It is not indicative to the integrity of the firm. So they fired her. I mean, I don't get what. So this whole, why does Julie Carpenter think, and why does Bill McIntyre think that this law firm is to blame for this? You're going to tell me, like, let's just say somebody works for Amazon, right? Somebody works for Amazon, high up, somebody on the board of Amazon, and that one somebody on the board gets caught, I don't know, with kiddie porn or something, right? And does that mean that the rest of Amazon is involved in kiddie porn? Is that what that means? Or does that person who sits on the board have a sickness and Amazon just needs to go, oh shit, that's gross. You need to get the fuck out of here. We don't want to be connected with you in any way, shape, or form. Isn't that how that's handled? Generally? So, I mean, I don't get what the whole, how does this make the firm that Aiden Carney has hired to represent him in this defamation suit, how does that make them look bad? I don't get it. I don't get how this is a mark on them, much less a mark on Jeffrey Pyle. I don't see how that's even remotely a mark. And so now she pushes this. Julie Carpenter pushes this.
To all of us. They are dangers. It pisses me off because I believe that a lawyer did actually say that. And that just fucking pisses me off because I want to know who that lawyer is. Like, I want to name and shame these people because these people are dangerous and we should know who they are. Like, they are dangers to all of us. They are dangers to a free society. They are anti-American fucking traitors who should be hung in town square. That's what I think about each of them. We need to eradicate these people from society. That's what I truly believe. We cannot continue to have a safe society as long as there are people out there, sociopaths, who will gladly, in an instant, take your life from you. Because that's what they were trying to do to Karen Reed. They were trying to take her life from her. Putting you in jail for the rest of your life is the same thing as taking a life from someone. And there are people that are willing to do that because they believed a fucking retarded rumor about Karen doing that. Anyone who's willing to do that, be like, yeah, I'm going to vote guilty. Immediately eradicate them from society. I don't think that's like a hard take. Okay. Any lawyer who says that people that we should take someone and take their fucking life away, because they heard a fucking rumor. If you don't think that person is a danger to society, like, you don't understand the problem. That person is a fucking danger to society. They are a danger to you. They are a danger to your children, to your brothers, to your sister. They're fucking evil to the fucking core. evil. They have evil in them. I couldn't do that to another person.
Now, the interesting thing about that, this is what she writes about it. Engaging in civil discourse is a core foundation of our civic duty as Americans. It is one of the most patriotic things one can do. Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. But to stifle communication between those who have a difference of opinion on a public matter, as Aiden Carney has consistently demanded his supporters do, this is some projection throughout the pendency of the Reed matter. It is the antithesis of what it means to participate in a democratic society. But he took it a step further. On Sunday, he called for an attorney who thought Karen Reed was guilty to be eradicated from society and hung in the town square. Are you aware your new client is issuing death threats against other attorneys? Prince Lobel. This is what I'm talking about. This is the desperation that I'm talking about. What this is Julie Grant kicking and screaming and having a conniption fit over the fact that Aiden Carney has hired Jeffrey fucking why does his name Jeffrey Pyle? His last name keeps escaping me. This is her getting really mad about the fact that Aiden hired Jeffrey Pyle. She was for some reason, counting on him not being able to hire an attorney. And she's like, TikTok. She puts this post up. TikTok, you've got to turn in your book report, meaning you haven't chosen an attorney and you only have so much time to do it. Did I say Julie Grant or did I say Julie Carpenter? I meant to say Julie Carpenter. TikTok, right? And then the same day he announces that he hired his attorney. And for days he's been saying, I'm talking to this guy. I really like him. We just haven't finalized anything just yet, or to the point where I just don't feel comfortable announcing him as my attorney yet for whatever reason that he had. I don't remember what it was. I don't even think he said. I just think he said that it was coming. I'm going to be announcing my new attorney. I have a new attorney and I'm going to be announcing it. And so he did that yesterday. And here, this woman is going, no. Julie Carpenter's freaking out and going, no. He doesn't have an attorney. He's lying. And then Aiden Carney has an attorney. Oh no. Okay, he's not lying, but does this law firm know that he is calling for other attorneys to be hung in the town square? He's calling for their murder. No, dude. That's not what he did. He's saying that these are traitors to America. It's anti-American to try to use resources. For an attorney to sit there and say that Karen Reed was guilty of this crime, despite the evidence, that is dangerous to society. You're trying to take someone's life away. That is evil. That is evil. That is exactly why it's very evil. It's one of the scariest things, being wrongfully accused of a crime and having your own society decide and point the finger at you and then judge you and punish you for it, and you didn't do it. That's one of the scariest thoughts that one could ever fucking I can't imagine. That's why that's so fucking evil. To have anything to do with that is so evil. It's like being part of a nightmare. Contributing to a nightmare. Let's listen to what he's saying again.
it pisses me off because I believe that a lawyer did actually say that. And that just fucking pisses me off because I want to know who that lawyer is. Like, I want to name and shame these people because these people are dangerous.
He wants to name and shame a lawyer who's using his credibility as an attorney to spread misinformation about an innocent woman being accused of murdering a police officer who was her boyfriend. Why is it wrong for him to have, and this is what's really important here. You have to understand, it's really important here. It is absolutely American. She's sitting here saying it's un-American for people to have it's un-American to have a problem with people having a civil discourse about this thing. He's not trying to shut that down. He's saying for people to actually say the things that they're saying, to be evil enough. He's like, these people should be made examples of. He believes in a society, in a perfect society. And again, it is satire, as Microdots stated in the chat earlier. It is satire. But even if it wasn't satire, he's allowed to have the opinion that we should live in a society where someone like that should be hung up in the town square, named and shamed. Think about that. Think about that. All he's saying here, all he's doing here is, again, exercising his First Amendment right. And even if his First Amendment right, even if his opinion is un-American, Julie Carpenter, I'm talking to you, sweetheart, honey, light of my life. Even if his opinion is un-American, that doesn't make it illegal. He's allowed to have un-American opinions. We don't live in a dictatorship. Otherwise, by your logic, Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine would be in prison right now. This is a guy who wears clothing with communist stars, paints communist stars all over his musical gear, preaches communism while he lives in a fucking mansion. Capitalizes off of preaching communism. That's what Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine does. That's what Rage Against the Machine as a band does. But they have the right to do it. So, I mean, you're sitting here talking about the most patriotic thing you can do. You know what's more patriotic? Is defending someone's right to say something that you don't like. That's more patriotic. Defending someone's right to say something that you don't like. And you're saying, oh, well, that's what he's, what are you talking about? Aiden is sitting there saying that the guy should be hung up in the town squares for things that he says. No. He should be hung up in the town square, in his opinion, because he's misusing his power as an attorney. Anybody who has taken an oath to find justice and truth in any matter, anybody who's taken that oath, it's a sacred thing. And if you break it, Aiden is simply expressing his opinion on what should happen to people who take that oath and then break it, who piss on it, who it means nothing to. And no, I don't think that he means it literally, that that's what should happen. But even if he did, he has a right to that opinion. I mean, it's so wild. Everything is like, people are so upset at Turtleboy having an attorney. Like, it's so crazy. Like, did you really count on the notion that he would not retain a civil attorney? So let's see this tech dirt thing. Let's read about this. That Jeffrey Pyle defended these guys and had the case thrown out. As you likely know, for most of the past 9 months, we've been dealing with a defamation lawsuit from Shiva Ayadurai. Sorry. Who claims to have invented email. This is a claim that we have disputed at great length and in great detail, showing how email existed long before Ayadurai wrote his program. We pointed to the well-documented public history of email. I mean, that's a hell of a claim. That sounds like JLR, That's a hell of a claim. Think about that for a second. That's a hell of a claim. You invented email. That's amazing. I invented dog collars. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I invented dog collars. Like, no, you did not invent email. Pamela, thank you so much for the Venmo, $25. You had me hooked from the howl you did when Dr. Wolf came to the stand. Haha, you are always genuine. I love watching you. Aw, thanks so much, Pamela. I appreciate it. Dr. Wolf. My dad invented Post-its. Isn't that from a movie? Isn't that from a movie? Didn't somebody say that their dad invented Post-its or invented Post-its? And hold on. Corina Pinky, thank you so much. Saw Rod Stewart live in 2019. Best gig ever. Yeah, man. Rod Stewart's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, I saw this shirt and I was like, I have to have it. It's fucking great. We pointed to the well-documented public history of email. How basically all of the components that this guy claims credit for precede his own work. We discussed how his arguments were at best misleading, such as arguing that the copyright on his program proved that he was the inventor of email. Since patents and copyrights are very different, and just because Microsoft has a copyright on Windows, it does not mean it invented the concept of a windowed graphical user interface, because it did not. As I have said, a case like this is extremely draining, especially on an emotional level, and can create massive chilling effects on free speech. Right. A few hours ago, a judge ruled that we prevailed. The case has been dismissed, and the judge rejected. I just want to stop saying his last name. His request to file an amended complaint. We are certainly pleased with the decision and his analysis, which notes over and over again that everything that we stated was clearly protected speech and the defamation and other claims had no merit. This is clearly a big win for the First Amendment and free speech. Now, again, like this is a guy, okay, I mean, this was what this guy who claims that he invented email, he put himself in a position by suing the people who are going, no, you didn't. By calling those people out, these people are going, dude, you didn't fucking invent email. And then he's going, you're saying that I didn't invent email? Okay, I'm going to sue you because it's not true. You're lying. So I'm going to sue you because you're saying that I didn't invent email. Think about how absurd that sounds. That is the summary of it all right there is I'm suing you because you're saying that I didn't invent email. And they're like, what? Well, but you didn't. And here's why. Like, it precedes you. Like, email and all of its components and what makes email precedes any work that you've ever fucking done. Like, before you were even remotely a thing, email was already a thing. And all we're saying is that's the case. Oh, this is defamation. And this is a guy who clearly is just trying to make a name for himself, trying to take credit for inventing email. And these guys are like, you're fucking crazy. What are you doing? And so he's like, all right, I'm going to sue you because you're fucking with my grift. I'm trying to tell people that I invented email and you're fucking that up. And so these people are like, all right, well, you're going to sue me, then I'm going to hire Jeffrey Pyle. And of course, now the thing is that seems like an easy case to throw out. And this is interesting. Like on the surface, on its face, as the mighty one would say, on its face, it means that since it's the alleged inventor of email, the self-proclaimed inventor of email's responsibility to prove that they're defaming him, then he has to prove that he fucking invented email. Right? Like, he's the one with the burden of proof. So now he's just put himself in a position. This is where it gets fun. He has now put himself in a position to where he has to prove that they're lying about him not inventing email, which puts him in a position to where he has to prove that he invented email. He's not going to be able to do that. So let's compare that to Turtleboy's case now. Now the McAlberts are suing Aiden because they're saying he's calling us murderers. He's saying that we covered up a murder. And we're hanging on to this whole idea that a woman who was acquitted after being tried twice in a Massachusetts court of law, who was acquitted, we're still saying she's the one who did it. And we're defaming, and we're suing him for defamation because he's saying that it was us. Where all this does is put Aiden in a position and an opportunity to be able to say why he believes this. Are you following? Watch my finger very closely, McAlberts. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching? Yeah. You're not going to be able to do that. Now you have to prove that you didn't kill John O'Keefe and cover it up, Higgy. Now you have to prove that. Since you're suing him. So this is a very similar case. This is a guy going, oh man, you guys are fucking with me here, dude. I'm fucking telling people that I invented email and you guys are fucking with my shit, dude. I go around, I get drunk at the bar, and I tell chicks that I invented email, and now you guys are fucking with that. Stop fucking with my game. I'm gonna sue you. And then he sued. But not realizing that it puts him in a position to where he has to prove that he invented email. Meaning the McAlberts are now in a position to where they're going to have to prove, in order to prove defamation, they're going to have to prove that they didn't kill Boston police officer John O'Keefe and cover it up. Let's check out one of these other cases. Hold on. Oh, shit. I fucked up. It's okay, though. All right. So this is the New Yorker. Oh shit, I can't read it because I have to like sign into the New Yorker. I have to pay for the New Yorker. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not subscribing to the New Yorker. Here's the Boston Globe. Do I have to subscribe to the fucking Boston Globe too? I do. Fuck all that. All right. Well, whatever. Anyways. I mean, yeah, this is. How do you think you're going to, how do you think this is going to fly? Because think about it. Like, I really think that this was just a big panic bluff to try to get him to shut up. The rumor about his bail being revoked. Again. The soda went down the wrong pipe there. This is all panic. This is all TBDS panic. The rumor of his bail being revoked is just, oh my God, he's got a lawyer. Now they're going to go through. These are people who know that they have nothing. We're going to try to scare Aiden into shutting him up with a lawsuit. Well, now he's got a First Amendment attorney who's going to shut this whole thing down, and now they don't know what to do. Now it's, let's trash the attorneys. Let's find reasons why their attorneys are, why his new attorneys are no good. I mean, it's just pathetic. In the well, right, they are knowingly lying. I mean, that's what it boils down to. The fact is that we all know that all of the evidence points to them. What are you all talking about in my chat right now? You're talking about Nick Rocco and you're talking about Jen Altman. Two people who I could give no fucks about whatsoever. And I get it, you know, that's stuff going on with Aiden and whatever, but I just yeah. The Nick Rocco the Nick Rocco and Aiden stuff is just very funny to me. Like I the only thing that I really had an opinion on that I just thought was really funny was Nick Rocco's flex. I still talk to Karen. Super gay. Just very just I I still talk to Karen, so
Gay!
like that's not a flex, you know. And somebody, I can't remember who it was. Somebody was joking about like, okay, well, you're bragging about. Okay, so your brag is that you still talk to a convicted drunk driver. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, because understand, I don't know how much to tell you that, guys. This I absolutely, we all support Karen Reed. You know, of course we do, but I don't relate to any of you motherfuckers who treat her like she's a celebrity. I think you fuckers are weird. All of you fucking people are fucking weird. She's not a celebrity. She's just somebody who ended up in a fucked up situation and dealt with it accordingly. That's it. That does not make you a celebrity. That does not give you celebrity status. She's not an Oscar-winning performer. She's not creating art and putting it out into the world and getting praise for it. She did the best of her abilities to fight for her freedom to stay the fuck out of jail because she did not do what she was being accused of. Now, is that strength and that tenacity inspiring? Of course it is. For sure it is. But to sit here and talk about Karen Reed like she's some sort of, like there's some sort of hierarchy here, and like there's some sort of, it's bizarre. It's you sound weird when you talk about Karen Reed like she's sitting on some fucking mountaintop with security all around her that is going to allow you audience from time to time, and only the anointed get this audience with Karen Reed, with the Karen Reed. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. Okay? She's just a regular person who got in a fucked up situation, and the best way for her to handle that situation when you're dealing with a local government, well, you fucking recruit who the government works for. And that is the people, because this is still the United States of America, and she did that. That's it. You know, it's that simple. I'm not saying it's not admirable. What I'm saying is it's not celebrity status shit. You know? These lawyers, they did their fucking jobs. Do we love their lawyers for it? Absolutely. But they're not fucking celebrities either. But they're more celebrity than Karen Reed. In my opinion, Alan Jackson is somebody who is to be praised with celebrity status to some degree, for sure, even though he would not. even though he would not agree with that. Maybe he would. I don't know. But you fucking morons who sit there and act like you're part of some weird little inner circle because you get to talk to Karen Reed from time to time and she shoots you a text like, oh my God, Karen Reed just shot me a text. Oh my God. I must be. What do I say? Oh, I'm nervous. How do I respond to this? Oh, no, dude. Like, she's in a fucked up situation. And that's it. Yeah. Talk to me when Karen Reed writes a banger like Maggie May. Okay? Talk to me when Karen Reed writes a banger like If You Want My Body and You Think I'm Sexy. Talk to me when that happens. And then consider her a celebrity. You know? Like people who fucking put these true crime victims on pedestals, dude, I will never, ever, ever fucking relate to you. Ever. Those of you talk like that. Like, it's, oh my God. Aiden recorded Karen Reed. How the Karen Reed? Aiden recorded the Karen Reed? Oh my God. How dare he? Like, no, that's not an okay thing to do. But the only reason you people are up in arms about it and you're so upset about it, you're so fucking freaked out about it, is because Karen took it personally, and rightfully so. She had a right to feel however she wants to feel about that. But again, it's between her and Aiden. That's a thing between the two of them. You're weird for wanting to be involved in that. You're weird for wanting to be somehow heard on your side of this and your opinion being heard. You're weird for that. White knighting for somebody who you are praising for proving that she doesn't need anybody to white knight for her at all. She took on an entire local fucking government. She doesn't need you to white knight for her. This is your whole narrative. This is the reason why you worship her so much, right? Or is it for another reason? Is it because you see her as some sort of fucking celebrity? And you're missing the whole fucking point of why we're all here to begin with. Unreal. She's a victim, not a celebrity. And she fought back. She fought back hard. She did great. And yes, that's inspiring. And yes, that's something that I'm always going to admire her for. But I'm not going to be all like, oh my God, I wonder what she's wearing. Oh. You know how fucking stupid you sound? Karen still considers me a part of her circle. Like, I mean, for me, like, it was cool. It was cool to get invited to things, and I was grateful for that, you know, and mostly because I felt like, oh, okay, well, I can contribute somehow. You know, my attitude the whole time was like, whatever I can do. You know, you're so that was my perspective is hey, we're doing a fundraiser. I'm organizing a fundraiser. I want you to be there because people love your channel and they want to, you know, it just It's going to be a great look to have some of the creators that everyone watches. You know, this is how it always was. It's like people are like, oh my God, you know, you got invited to dinners and you expect Karen to thank you. And I'm like, well, I don't expect Karen to thank me, first of all. I really don't. I don't expect that. It's not what I'm saying. But make no mistake that these dinners and fundraisers, we were asked to go because people were watching our show and people were supporting, and we were helping raise money for them, for Karen. We were helping raise awareness, and these people liked us. And these fundraisers, we were there to elicit donations. The irony is we were pimped out like celebrities. Us YouTube creators in those situations, which we didn't mind. Pimped out is a weird word to use, but we were basically there to be to be garnish. We're basically there for decoration. To meet, shake hands, take pictures with people, to create an environment that people want to help support Karen and her defense. That was the entire point. So don't sit here and be like, oh, well, you know, she invited you to these things like they were just these little social events. That's not what they were. There was a purpose behind these things. There was a purpose behind these. And the purpose behind inviting us to these things was to raise money for her. And nobody's going to deny that. Nobody who was invited to these things is going to deny that. So, I mean, my attitude wasn't like, oh my God, I get to go to have a dinner with Karen Reed. It's, okay, I got invited to this thing. I understood what the purpose of me being invited being invited to it was for, and I was happy to do so. Whatever I can do. I don't get it. I don't know why people listen and watch, but I'm grateful that they do. If that could be used in some way to help Karen and her cause, I'm going to do everything within my power, whatever my name and whatever my show, whatever it can bring to help, I'm going to do that. That was my attitude the entire time, but never was it, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, look, what's Karen wearing? Ooh. You know, like, I think it's fucking weird that people got like that about it. But it was just, you know, it's encouraged at the time because it helps gain support. You know? It helps gain support. And I want to do everything I can to support, you know? But don't sit there and come at me like Karen Reed is some celebrity who let people into her circle. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. You know? She's not fucking Madonna, dude. You know what I mean? With a fucking entourage. I have no interest in being part of some fucking entourage. And if you do, you're fucking weird. You know? Like listening to the Hood Boogers and listening to Cryford and listening to fucking BLT and listening to Nan fucking talk about this shit, like talk about being part of some fucking circle, like we're invited and you're not kind of shit. It's just like, dude, we did everything. We were there getting shit done that needed to get done. You're just sitting here trying to collect the fucking scraps of something that there are no scraps. There's no scraps. Whatever you're imagining is imaginary. All we did was we were there when it mattered. It was simple. We were there when it mattered. Karen was facing prison time. She was being railroaded by the Norfolk County DA's office, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. She was being fucking railroaded. We were all doing whatever we could within our power to prevent that from happening. Whatever role we played, we were all trying to prevent that from happening. Now, mission accomplished. She's not going to prison. And then now there's some weird, like, okay, well, like we were there when it mattered. We were there showing up to court. I was traveling to Boston for fundraisers, for court hearings, for everything. I at this point, I don't even know how many times it was, like 6, 7 times that I've been to fucking Boston. I don't even know. But the point being is it was necessary at the time. It was like, what can I do? Well, fuck, like, yeah, we're raising a lot of money for Karen. We're raising money for Turtleboy, but we're also like I'm making money doing this. My living situation right now, my rent is really, really cheap. So shit, fuck it. I want to give back as much as I can. I want to do as much as I can because I felt so passionate. And again, I've said this 100 times. This isn't, for me, it's not about Karen Reed. It was hardly about Karen Reed. Of course it was. I got to know her, not so much, but her family a little bit. And I got to know Aiden a little bit. I got to know, but the most important thing about that is every time I've gone up there to support, it was to support them, but mostly it was to support you guys. You guys, your passion for all of this is what's inspired me. You guys being so passionate about Karen's innocence and about the shitty thing that's happening, the shitty things that are happening to her, and Aiden being railroaded and targeted for merely shining a light on it. And you guys getting so angry about it. I got angry for you. I was angry for Aiden, sure, but I was angry for all of you. Miss V USMC just gifted 20 memberships, though. Holy shit. So yeah, my whole thing was to just, what can I do? Yeah, like I barely used any of it for content. Anytime I was up there. I mean, it's just so crazy to sit there and act like you guys really missed. Those of you who sit here and talk about Karen Reed like you're part of some hierarchy, you're delusional. You're fucking delusional. And it's not doing her any good. That's the funniest part. Like, it's not doing her any good at all. It doesn't help her. What helps her is simply keeping your eye on what's important and supporting literally anything that can get the McAlberts held accountable for what everyone believes to be their role in John O'Keefe's death. Boston police officer John O'Keefe's death. Which includes supporting Aiden. Because Aiden is now in a position, like when he was on that Spaces the other night, one of the most impactful things that he said was, I can't fucking wait to be on that stand. I can't wait. Because he's going to prepare for that. That's off the cuff. He's just going to explain. He's like, I can't wait for the opportunity to tell a fucking jury exactly why I believe that these people are fucking murderers. Or tell a judge, whoever. Jilly Beans, thank you so much. I can attest to a lot of craziness. Yeah. Only fan, thank you so much. Member for 8 months. Here for the brutal logic. That's something you'll always get here. It's something you'll always get here. Right. Karen simply represents any one of you. Karen represents any one of you. That could happen to anybody. Anybody who feels that they're untouchable and who feels I'm not going to take accountability for this, and they have the power and the connections to avoid the accountability, that accountability is going to fall on somebody most likely. And in this case, it was Karen Reed, but in any other case, it could have been any fucking one of you locals. I mean, these people, this is a desperate, the McAlbert suing Turtleboy is an act of desperation. Revoking his bail didn't shake him. Charging him didn't shake him. Revoking his bail didn't shake him. And now this. Right? And it's just interesting to me that now they're just so upset that he's retained this attorney. They're so upset that he's retained this attorney, and now, I mean, it's this guy is pure free speech. If you look at just Aiden's demeanor in the last few days, since he was building up and talking about, okay, I got an attorney. I'm just not announcing it yet, but we're talking and we're talking and we're talking, right? You look at that, and then now you look at how that progressed just before he announced who his attorney was. Just before that, he was, I mean, fired up. Was he shook when he was getting sued? No, I wouldn't say shook, but you would be an idiot to not have a cause for concern. Okay, I just got slapped with a lawsuit from these people, and I have been accusing them of murder. I have been saying these people are murderers. So until I get an attorney, let me just assess things a little bit. But now he's got an attorney. He's like, fuck you. I stand by everything because everything I said is protected by free speech. And this is going to be interesting because we're going to cover this, but we're also going to cover Ryan Upchurch being sued by the Rodney family. Okay? That's coming up this month in like a week or two. That trial's going to start, and I am going to cover that. And that's going to be very, very interesting because I absolutely feel for the Rodney family, and I feel for what Ryan Upchurch has done and made them feel and how he's made them feel. But I'm not sure if what he has done falls under protected speech. Right? So I don't know. So this is going to be interesting because there's going to be people who are going to be like, you're defending Aiden, but you're not going to defend Ryan Upchurch? How is the case is different? And I am very, very much looking forward to exploring that because it's going to piss some people off. It's going to be very provocative. Some people are going to be like, I don't know how you could say one thing and then defend somebody else. No, I am not sued yet, Dave. But I know that everything that I say falls protected under free speech. I know it. I form my opinions based on facts, and they are my opinions. I do not state my opinions to be fact, ever. But yeah, it's like, are they coming after everybody? Are you going to try to shut everybody up? Good luck with that. And you're right. Freedom of speech does not mean free from consequences. Now, I think it should mean free from legal consequences. But the Kylie Rodney family, the Rodney family versus Ryan Upchurch, is a very, very different case than Aiden Carney versus the McAlberts. It's very, very different, but I look forward to exploring it. We are going to explore it. And Ryan Upchurch is quite a character. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to follow some other stuff that's going on with Ryan Upchurch too, that may play into credibility on his part. The phrase free speech but not free from consequence involves private actors not liking what you have to say and maybe not wanting to deal with you anymore. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dave. I agree with you. And I got a Venmo from Carrie. Thank you so much, Carrie. Carrie's Venmo says, keep being you. You're appreciated for all you do. Thank you so much, Carrie. Appreciate that. $20. Very sweet. Yes, I love the Venmos. I love the Cash Apps. I love the PayPals. I love the Super Chats too. Super Chat. But those are way, way awesome because I don't have to split them with YouTube or wait for them. So it's always really nice when people send those. So I really, really appreciate it. But the members, I love when people get memberships and gift memberships because I try to give you guys as much members only content as I can. And right now, there's really nobody to really go petty about, so I haven't really been going petty much. We'll do that at some point. I'm sure somebody's going to get petty. Once this lawsuit progresses, somebody is going to beg for attention. It's just a matter of time. And when whoever that is begs for attention, I will be there to give it to them. Why?
Why'd I do it? Because I'm petty. And lucky for me, my family's petty too.
Absolutely. And the clubber walks, we're gonna figure something out. But they just drop. They drop in the woods. And I really like walking him in the woods. You don't how to do the gift. You got to do it from either from an Android phone, I think, or from your computer. You can't do it from your phone, from an iPhone. When I gift memberships, I have to do it here. And yeah, Lana's a wackadoo, but she's not funny. Like Mike Kryford, like it's easy to make fun of him. It's very easy to make fun of him. Mike Kryford. It's very easy to make fun of Brian LTL, you know? Lana doesn't make it as funny. She's just infuriating because she's just an idiot. You know, she doesn't make it easy to like make her funny. She's more infuriating. But Amy, or that would be Mo, excuse me. Mo just sent a Venmo as well, but told me to shush. So I don't think Mo wanted me to tell people that she sent me a Venmo. I don't know why, but thank you, Mo. Appreciate it. You've been outed as someone who sends me Venmos. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for me. I love, just in quick summary, let me go over this because it's important. Aiden tweeted an hour ago, "No, I am not headed for bail revocation, so you don't need to contact me to ask me if I'm okay. Please stop getting your news from random Twitter accounts." I think this is directed at me in part. This burner is run by Christy Catrone, a mentally ill woman who jumps from side to side, even when she is a supporter. Oh my goodness. Wait, Brandy sent me a Venmo. Thank you so much. Thanks for always talking to the people and help us with having a good attitude. Petty. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Brandy, for the $10 Venmo. Even when she was a supporter of mine, I made it clear that she was crazy, shouldn't be trusted, and just make shit up. She is currently going through a TBDS phase. But that's not the tweet that I saw, in all fairness. I just can't remember where it was. Who thinks it is against the law to call someone an employer and inform them about disturbing statements that made in their employees? Yeah. So, I texted Aiden, asked him if he was being, if his bail was being revoked. And then he said, what rumor? And I thought, I didn't know if he meant that he hadn't heard the rumor, or he was like, his way of saying it's not a rumor. And he really couldn't say much else about it. So he texted me back once I was live, and so I called him and muted myself and he was like, yeah, it's just a rumor, it's bullshit. And Sloth Life gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. And that's going to happen right now on the internet, folks. Is people are going to spread rumors and they're going to wish things into reality. They're gonna wish out loud and act like these things are fact when they just simply aren't, because they're wishing. Now Aiden has a civil attorney who he feels very confident is going to do a great job. I feel very confident that this person is going to do a great job. And I think this you're going to expect a lot more TBDS trashing of the law firm that Jeffrey. God damn it! Why am I having brain farts again? I keep forgetting that because I want to say Lions. Why do I want to say Lions? And I already got Jeffrey Pyle. Yeah, it's the Y. Yeah, I don't know why. It happens to me. Because I'm terrible with names. But Jeffrey Pyle will be representing Aiden Carney, and I think that he's going to do a great job because he focuses on someone's right to say whatever the fuck they want, especially if it ruffles feathers, and defending that. And that's exactly the kind of attorney that Aiden needs in this type of case. And I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see him argue. I'm excited to hear what he has to say on courthouse steps. I'm excited for all that shit. Did I see the song you made in my honor? No, I didn't see any song that you made in my honor. But thank you for making it. If you did, it's really nice. I appreciate it. Surprise! See, I don't want to do that. I don't want to I don't want to equate that guy to Gomer Pyle, even though Gomer Pyle is very lovable. We all love Gomer Pyle. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Pile driver, that's even better. Yeah, there's going to be some good pile driver. I'm going to have to come up with a little clip. Like when we're streaming hearings and he drops a bomb, I'm going to have like Sid Vicious or something giving somebody a pile driver. Chastity Daniels gifted 5 memberships. Remember that WWE song? Pile driver. Shitty ass song. Yeah, man. Everyone loves Gomer Pyle, the other Mary B. Everyone loves Gomer Pyle. How do you not love Gomer Pyle? But I don't want to, because this guy is, I mean, I bet you anything this guy is not like a Gomer Pyle type at all. I bet he's a badass. Chastity Daniels is a porn name. Excuse me. But anyways, folks, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I figured I'd go live early because it's raining and I can't take Clubber to the trail at the moment. So I'm a little bummed out about that. He's a little bummed out about it. Yeah, so I'm going to try to get some stuff done around here that I wanted to get done, but I figured I would just go live, discuss this, squash this rumor that Aiden's bail is revoked, and squash, and talk about Aiden's new attorney. Anyways, guys, remember, it only takes a second to stay safe. I love you very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.
Watch out!
Today, being retarded means leading a full life. Retarded people go to work or school, just like their neighbors, and come back to a real home. A supervised home, right in the neighborhood, where they belong. Being retarded never stopped anyone from being a good neighbor.